Hi, fellas. How you doing? Good to see you. Nice to see you again for another Escapement Show.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Look who we got. Look who we got. Special guest. We're graced with his presence, IDGuy.
Hi, Jess.
Nice
Thank you for having me. Good Saturday.
It's hard doing this mirroring stuff. We've got JCB. Yeah, good to see JCB from down under. We got IDGuy from up there in the north, the cold north. You can tell he's got his scarf when he's wrapped up. And
it's -1. It's the weather. The climate decided. No, today we're just not going to show up. So -1 up here. Everything's frozen. But yeah.
I just thought I'd start by saying happy Thanksgiving to everyone in America. Hope you're having a good Thanksgiving weekend. And and also 25th today, a month till Christmas. Can you believe that?
No.
I mean, blimey, wow.
That's crazy.
So
the end of the year just decides.
We're gonna be eating turkey in a month. So I mean, blimey. And I've got a couple of links in the chat. I just wanted to there's a great talk given by Stephen McDonald, the NBNF designer and watchmaker, and I posted that in the chat for you to check out. It's a really good video that he gave at Dubai, a talk that he gave at Dubai Watch Week. Really, really good. If you check that out, do check that out. It's really
NBNF designs are just something else.
Aren't they just? But he talks about his anxiety. He talks about his anxieties and stresses, and he doesn't even wear a watch. It's bizarre.
I never saw it, so this is news to me.
Well, I haven't watched it yet, Thomas, but I certainly will. And from what I know, I mean, he's sort of like the brains behind, you know, the perpetual, the legacy machine perpetual, the sequential Evo,
and the chronograph.
The sequential. He must be a fucking genius, man. This guy, like he must be.
He is. He's
like a prodigy sort of guy.
Yeah.
But the strange thing is, you don't really hear much about him outside of NBNF. Like, I'm not sure what he really does, like who he consults to and what other brands. But he's sort of this enigma. He's a bit of this sort of you know, just sort of a Phantom of the Opera sort of character in the watch world.
Some of the best designers are too. Hey, they're very, very modest, and they keep low key. But then when they start listing what they've done, you're like, what? For NBNF, it's a hell of an achievement, considering.
Yeah,
100%.
Well, another channel I wanted to shout out was A Shot in the Dark, a view of our channel. He's starting his own channel up.
Wow, cool,
he's starting his own channel up called The Punter's Pub. And he hasn't got that many subscribers. He's doing his first live stream tonight for us in the UK at 9 p.m. And I think that's 3 p.m. Central Time in the US. So if you want to tune in, it's going to be a light-hearted chat channel. And I told him I'd give him a shout out. So anybody else of the viewers, if you want to, you want me to give your channel a shout out, just let me know and let us know in chat, and I'll give you a shout out. I just told him I'd give him a shout out, and he's just starting up. He's only got a few subscribers at the moment, so I'm sure it'd be chuffed if you could subscribe and join him on the stream. He'd love it.
Sweet.
So
enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. It's nice not having a big subscriber base. It's nice just being able to sit back and start again. It's really cool. Just to start something fresh is always nice. So yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah. So after talking expensive high-end watches a couple of weeks ago, with the GPHG watches, which were unaffordable, the AP Universal, which was 1.7 million francs.
GPHG, man. What? Why does that show even exist, man?
That Voutilainen is like $250,000 or something. I'm like, what the hell? That's like just a steel watch. Like, come on, man. I
find it a strange thing, though. I find it a really strange thing that it's not open to the public. I think you would have such a better result if it was more of a a general people's opinion. Imagine it was a jury by the masses instead of a jury by those who get cash under the table or those who are a part of the
Man,
judging.
Shooter would never win anything, IDGuy. Come on,
Right.
what are you talking about?
Right.
Come.
So it's like, I don't know, half the stuff you feel like it's just selected by a committee. It doesn't feel genuine in that sense. There's some beautiful stuff that's just swept under the rug because it's not on brand or whatever else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an odd
Agree,
thing.
man. Really
After
agree.
talking about unobtainable watches, I thought I'd flip the coin over and we'll talk about some cheaper, more obtainable watches from the Kickstarter platform. And welcome a few people first. And Chili says, Kickstarter watches are a gamble. Some you win, most you lose. We'll find out, Chili. Yeah. Who else have we got? The
Just
Watch
noticed
Apprentice.
there's a plectrum on the bottom of my screen, a little speck. That's so frustrating. Look at it. bottom right side. I don't know. Over there, my arm is. It's a little tiny little black speck.
Yeah. What the hell is that?
It's a plectrum. It's from a. It's from.
Oh,
a
is it on the
It's fallen
ground?
out.
Is it
No,
on the ground?
Darwin.
It's
Are
like
you gonna give us a tune, ID guy?
no.
You
No, the thing
play
is,
song?
the microphone thinks of it as background noise. So no matter what you do, if you play,
Ah,
into the microphone,
right, okay.
it's gonna sound terrible. Love it.
Yeah, Watch Apprentice reminding you to give us a thumbs up, guys. That's great. Who else have we got in the chat? Should he say again? Good day, fellas. He's taking that back about the microbrands and the Kickstarter. Bafaris, greetings from Dubai. Yeah, greetings to Bafaris. We got Y2K. Still
On the road.
Jeff?
Rainy traffic. Oh man, be safe.
You can join us soon, Y2K. Yeah.
Are we going to do a wrist check?
Before
we
we
talk?
say,
Yeah, you got to start with a wrist check, man.
Yeah, okay.
Thomas,
Who's
go
going
for it, boy.
I'll
Thomas
go
is
for
the
it.
host. You go for it.
I'm wearing my Panai. I've got my trusty Panai
Far
on.
out,
I
man.
love it. It's my
Yeah, I love it.
52.
what's the reference?
352. It's titanium.
Titanium
yeah.
luminol. That's so sick. So
Titanium
cool. And a
luminol
clear
with
back.
exhibition
Yeah,
case
man.
back.
Is it
a great
Stingray
piece.
strap?
On a
Got it on
Stingray
Stingray?
strap.
Yeah.
Aaron bespoke Stingray strap. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a beauty. I love it.
Hey, tell me, like with Aaron Bespoke, because they cost quite a lot. Do you think is it worth the money for the quality? Is it
Yeah.
worth it? Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the interaction you get with Aaron, he WhatsApps you.
Awesome.
He gives you different choices. He recommends materials for you. He sends pictures of different colored skins and leathers. Lets you recommendations. Lets you choose. Sends you a video of when the strap's made to see if you're happy with it. Yeah, great interaction from Aaron Pimlitel. Yeah, can't recommend him enough. Yeah, but expensive. But I mean, the strap company you recommended, HD straps in Vietnam, were a third of the price.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, comparatively, right? Because it's a third of the price, but I imagine that the Aaron strap is a higher quality strap, right? Like, it's not like your
you
know what I mean? I guess that's where I was going, Tom. Like, relative to a cheaper strap, that money that you put into the Aaron, you can sort of feel it. Like, you can see where the money's going.
Yeah, and Thomas has had that for years, man. That's 5 years old at least, hey?
Yeah, it's lasted me ages, this strap, and it's good. It's a good, thick, quality strap, and it's lasting me ages. It's just years.
Yeah,
IDGuy says.
Okay, so cool. I mean, Panai in general. For you, I mean, a titanium with the gilt elements. I was watching Rambo the other night, and he's wearing a Marina Militaire luminol.
Right,
sick. Looks so good. It just fits the role. It's great.
Yeah. So
Rambo, like the latest one?
Rambo 4. So it was on Amazon a while back.
Yeah, cool.
That's a good one, man. There's the gore is like true. They've kept it realistic in that way.
Okay, JCB.
But yeah.
So I'm actually wearing a Kickstarter brand. This brand started off on Kickstarter. This is Zelos.
Zelos,
and
yeah.
Yeah, Zelos. They've. I reckon. I reckon these guys are the biggest thing in watches in the last 10 years. Really, like the biggest success story.
Micro brand.
A micro brand, but like think about where they've come from, Thomas. Like they were a Kickstarter brand, and now these watches sell out within like a minute of going online.
Yeah,
they're all sold out. Like you cannot get these things unless you're like super lucky. Just the way that they've marketed and come up, they're a real success story, I think, in the watch game. Like probably only behind someone like Recepi. I was thinking about this today. I was thinking, who are the guys that are the big success stories, right? Last 10 years.
Yeah, there's a handful, definitely. The Zelos is one of them for sure.
Yeah, these guys, and I think sort of they're in that top two or three. And they're affordable. And it comes down to their design language. There's a lot of micro brands that are just churning out Submariner homages and stuff like that. These guys, when you see a Zelos, you know what it is. You know it's a Zelos, right? It's got just some distinctive sort of stuff going on, and I think that's what has got them out of that micro brand sort of sea of the micro brands. They've come up because of their unique designs, and I think that'll be something that I will be looking at when we look at these watches today on Kickstarter. It'll be around the design language and stuff like that. So that's
another piece that comes to mind when I see a Zelos. I think Formex is another brand that has had that kind of success where build, design, innovation. They're pushing the boundaries there. I see Blancpain Bathyscaphe, original Bathyscaphe in that design that you've shared, has a very similar style to it.
Yeah. The IDGuy, you're on the spot. What are you wearing? Wristwatch check.
Well, this also started on Kickstarter, I believe. And it's a brand called Seiko. I don't know if you've heard of them before, but it's a goodie. Oh. It's a what they call the 6217. It's the recreation of the 62 MAS from 1965. The 8001 with a big crown. Got it on an Omega mesh, which changes the game. It feels. I mean, I basically I tell people, I say, how can you tell someone that you're wearing a skin diver from the 60s without telling someone you're wearing a skin diver from the 60s? And this is just on the money.
Love it.
How do you have to hold? I don't know how you did it, JCB, but it takes some practice to get that right.
Yeah,
the rhodium dial. The rhodium dial is amazing. The loom is fantastic. It's a great piece. I had no idea that I would latch onto a Seiko as much as I did. I'm wearing it more than a Rolex at this point. So I mean, you got to know when Seiko is firing on all cylinders, man, they're hard to beat.
I was just going to say, same thing. When they're firing, they're pretty hard to beat.
Yeah. So it's amazing. Loom isn't just for those who know Seiko. I mean, loom is brilliant. Case finishing, Grand Seiko quality. The dial, Grand Seiko quality. Cool story about it. I mean, I found it on the bay for the price of a vintage Smith's W10.
Really?
2250. And I saw it and I said, what? And I was the only one to bid on it because the reference number, it's not SLA anymore, it's SJE. The eBay algorithm didn't pick it up and share it around. So
nice.
Great watch. I mean, just can't say enough good stuff about it.
I've just got to say quick congratulations to the Watch Apprentice. I hope he doesn't mind me saying, but he's just purchased Bumblebee, the two-tone black GMT.
Bumblebee? Oh, that's just come out.
Yeah, not come out. No, black dial GMT, but it's two-tone. So it's awesome. It's just a black nice. Two-tone dial.
Bumblebee. That's a new one.
That's the name it's given. Yeah, it's
you learn something every day.
I've heard that name for the Submariner as well. the black
Okay.
two-tone sub. Is that got
That's sick,
another
man.
name? Anyway, whatever.
So is this a 5-digit or
Yeah.
is this a 6-digit reference?
Correct.
I think it's a 6-digit. I think. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats.
It's
That's
beautiful. It's
always
two-tone. Congratulations, Watch
special.
Princess. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So Kickstarter, what is Kickstarter? I mean, so it's an American-based public benefit corporation, they call it, that runs a global crowdfunding platform focused on creative projects. The company's mission statement, they say, is to help bring creative projects to life. And creators categorize their projects into one of 13 categories and 36 subcategories. There's art, comics, dance, design, fashion, film and video, food and games, music, photography, publishing, technology and theatre. And of these categories, film and video and music are the largest categories and have raised the most money. And these categories, along with games, account for half the money raised. Video games and tabletop games account for more than $2 out of every $10 spent on Kickstarter.
Crikey. What?
So, how does Kickstarter work? We'll just bring up the Kickstarter page. So, how does Kickstarter work? Every project creator sets their campaigns, funding goal, and deadline. And if people like the project, they pledge money to buy a product and make it happen. And if the project succeeds, it's reaching its funding goal. All of the backers' credit cards are charged with them when the project comes to an end. The products are delivered by the delivery date stated in the campaign's description. And funding on Kickstarter works on an all or nothing basis. So if the campaign isn't met financially by the backers, it doesn't go ahead. What are the disadvantages of Kickstarter? I mean, several campaign founders have found that Kickstarter have commented on Kickstarter that the high fees associated with running a campaign on Kickstarter are a bit too much. They say, I mean, there's a 5% service charge and additional payment processing fees can add up quickly, especially for large projects, which sometimes make it difficult for creators to justify using the platform. And some creators therefore prefer to crowdfund using GoFundMe platform instead. And the most successful campaign on Kickstarter, second most successful campaign on Kickstarter was the Pebble Time smartwatch from Pebble Technology that raised $20,338,999 US dollars in March 2015.
That'll pay some bills.
Yeah.
What was that again in terms of the their budget? What did they want for it?
I don't know. A lot less than that, but it reached 78,000 backers it got.
Wow.
And so we're not going to look at smartwatches today, but wristwatches that have Kickstarter campaigns and what people think about them. Mm-hmm. Many watch snobs sneer at micro brands, but the platform really gives first-timers a break to showcase their ideas and passions. So I started this list 2 weeks ago, and some of these watches and the Kickstarter campaigns have now expired and are available at their discounted price.
So you can't. Can you still go like do a timeline and be able to see them? Or
you can still see them.
Okay.
Yeah, you can still see them. So I'll bring some up. Let's have a look.
We got to say first off that it's incredibly hard to start anything new and original. It's very hard to be original in anything today. So yeah, we tend to give them a lot of grief because their designs can be a little bit of a mess. I'm sure going to have some fun here. I mean, it's a Saturday and it's Saturday morning, and so we're gonna rip some designs to pieces too, I think. But it's always worth saying that very hard to start your own thing and to be successful at it in the creative space.
Hi, Y2K. Good to see you.
How you doing, brother? You're muted.
Everybody.
Hello?
Muted.
There we
Hello.
go. You're in.
Okay. So, wristwatch check. Anyways, I am also wearing a Seiko.
Great
Yeah,
minds,
but,
man. Great minds.
Yeah. Because I just came back from my mother-in-law's and I've been away for a few days.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh, there he's back.
I
I was going to
It's
reveal
okay.
it, and then everything went. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Turtle.
So this is what I'm wearing today.
Nice.
I have 3 watches.
Pink
This
turtle.
is the Paddy turtle, the Paddy turtle.
Awesome.
Yeah,
man.
with the blue
Amazing blue
ocean
dial.
dial. Yeah. I know we're doing Kickstarters, but just for interest's sake, I pulled out the what I would consider almost like a Kickstarter. It used to be a Kickstarter, I suppose. My trusty good old Carl von Zaytens, which I support from a local store, and this is one of them. Let me just pull out the other 2. So these are the same. I actually have been sticking on this brand for some time now, and they actually Googled them, and they're actually based in Germany. But in terms of popularity, I think they don't really get into the market here, and people maybe don't quite like how complicated or maybe how busy the dial is. But I like the fact
They
that
look
there's so much
cool.
things.
They look
I
really
like
cool.
Oh,
And yeah, I like how they're very busy inside. And this is one of the later ones I got as well.
They're
Yeah.
very busy,
Whoop.
aren't they? Skeletonized and yeah, very busy.
And last but not least, with the missus on a honeymoon trip, I said I'll get a watch from Switzerland. And I went to a gift shop. Me being the idiot was like, oh, I think this looks nice and I'm buying it. So this is this is called Residence, and apparently the shopkeeper inside it was in Zermatt. And the lady was like, oh, this brand comes from Germany. I was like, oh, really? And I was like, okay, I looked at it. It's all fully hand wound. And I actually just like it because it's just skeletonized, I think. Yeah, skeletonized. And let me just open this up. Yeah, there we go.
Looks
So you
good.
like your skeletonized watches
Oh.
and YTK?
Yeah, so I actually like how busy the dials are, but I think overall, I hope that about Kickstarter watches is a bit hard for me to, when people throw me Kickstarter campaigns, I'm not very sure if they're legitimate or not. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to be like putting money because I don't know where they're going to go, but I also do not know if they're legitimate or not. So that's the question of legitimacy where I'll let Thomas do the explanation.
Yeah, well, I thought we'd
Bufara
start with
summed it up very nicely in the chat just a second ago with his experience.
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh no.
I had very bad experience with Kickstarter. Scammed 4 times. Still waiting since 2019 for pledge I paid for. That's sad,
Wow.
Bafaris. Yeah,
Man. Mm.
that's not
So-
good. Doesn't give
Yeah.
good publicity for the platform.
Doesn't really start the show on a high note, hey? What are we gonna do?
No,
Well,
it doesn't
yeah.
start on a high note. You're right. So I thought, with JC being a chronograph guy, we'll start off with a couple of chronographs.
Seagull
And,
movements or mecha quartz? What are we thinking?
Let's have a look. So
I'm
this
sensing
Well,
seagull.
Hey, that
one,
looks
this one I
cool.
saw coming out of New York. This is the first one of these. Is the Hoffman Racing 40.
Dustin
And,
Hoffman. Was he involved in the process? Is that like his name?
They needed
Philip.
15,000 for this campaign to take off and raised $191,000. They got 872 backers. The early bird price was $189 for this watch.
Wow.
So
That's pretty good, man.
189.
Can't really go
Isn't it?
wrong with all black finish. That's really neat.
Yeah.
That looks stealth. I like that. Bicompax looks decent. Like the text placement. Nice.
Yeah, so it's using a Seiko VK64 Mecha Quartz
Mecha quartz.
movement.
So we were close.
Yeah, it's 50 meters water resistant, 40 mil. Comes in a few dial varieties, and just shows what savings can be made by backing a watch on Kickstarter. When
Yeah.
it says here that the saving $189. You're saving $236 off the $425 retail. So I just thought that was an interesting one to start off with.
Nice. I like it.
Nice and clean.
I'm getting more into bicompacts, chronos. The more I get into chronos, I'm thinking like bicompacts is where it's at. Yeah, I like it. It's just got that symmetry, you know.
But you know, another funny thing is that it does look like a Kickstarter-y watch in a lot of ways, I think, which can also be its detriment. It doesn't introduce anything otherworldly, anything to define it other than very, very, very safe.
Yeah, it's super safe. Yeah,
It's super safe, yeah. So move on to another chronograph. Move on to another chronograph, which is a bit sort of other end of the scale, coming out of Switzerland this time and asking a little bit more money on this one. This is the Arbutus Lippens.
Who?
Arbutus Lippens.
That sounded really rude.
That does not sound good. Yeah, Arbutus Lippens. Yeah.
Thomas, could you say it again, please? How do you pronounce Arsene?
Nice and slow.
Arsene?
Well, Arbutus Lippens are selling themselves as a community-based watch brand with a motto, a sense of belonging. Set by three men, the company takes its name from one of the men's grandfathers, this man, and went on to carry on the grandfather's love for Switzerland and Swiss watchmaking. And they're doing this watch, which is an almost standard three-hander, and the watches are marketed on more higher end than the last one we saw. The Kickstarter price is 1,650 Swiss francs for the chronograph, with a saving of only 300 Swiss francs. And this is a chronograph.
Let's have
that's more like it. That's very Furlan Mary-ish.
So these are using the Jouperet movements and bicompacts L113 chronograph caliber with a 60 hours power reserve, featuring an engraved rotor. It's a 39mm case with a pulsation scale on the dial, and they have several dial colors with Breguet numerals, and are proud to have been mentioned in several publications, as they say here, as they show here. So they've already been mentioned in several publications online, websites, and I wonder if they'll manage to establish themselves as a regarded brand. I'll just show some of the
just
colors.
The names, man. Some watch names just don't shouldn't be. I mean, it could be A. Lippens like Lango and Zona, or it could be Lippens, but Arbutus Lippens. When you say that in a conversation,
Yeah,
you know, after a few drinks, I think there's going to be a couple of problems.
I would say I butchered the name. Like, is it pronounced as Arbutus Lippens or Arsene?
Exactly, and saying it too fast, you're gonna say all the right things.
Like, full respect to the guy's grandfather and all, like total respect, but with having a name Arsen, come on.
And then Lippens right after it.
Yeah.
A and L. You could do something cool. You could maybe take the two names, the halves of the two names, and put them together. I don't know.
Arslip, is that what you're saying?
No, but you get the last part. You get the n's for the Lippens and the ars for the start. So I don't know. Awesome.
So that's here we go on to the chronograph. So they do white dial.
That's pretty. Looks good.
Go to the black dial one. Let's have
white
the black
dial.
one.
They do a black dial.
That blued second's hand, man.
They do a blue dial.
That's pretty nice.
And they do a green dial.
Is there a gold dial, Thomas? Is there one with gold?
A mustard dial. A mustard dial.
That's kind of hip.
And a terracotta.
This is the kind of design up JCB's alley. It looks very Patek reference. I'll never be able to remember.
A salmon dial.
70 is the one you want. Okay.
5170.
Now-
Really?
Yeah.
I
that's
quite
what
like
I'm
it. I
just
quite
looking.
like it. It's got the Breguet numeral, so it's 6 and 12. It's got the bicompax layout. It's got a pulsation scale. It's getting, as I say, it's getting more high end. I mean, they're charging what?
I'll be one to
How much
say.
is this one?
Sorry, go Thomas.
Numerico. The Rosario. Get off the
This
Numerico.
looks like 1,000. I see there were 1,005.
A lot of watches
There we
are
go,
carrying this
1,000.
color configuration these days.
1,650 francs. It's a lot of money for this Kickstarter watch. I mean, you're only saving 300 francs on it. That's all you're saving. And the
1,000.
future retail will be 1,900 Swiss francs, $2,136.
And it's running a BK94. Did you say?
It's running a Le Jour Perret movement.
No, this is the Le Jour Perret. Okay, cool. Yeah,
It's that seconds hand.
Okay.
It shouldn't have a round counterbalance on it. No. The blue color, maybe that's their pop color that they want to use. It just doesn't tie up with the rest of the watch. You could have a beautiful little arrowhead on that chronograph seconds hand, and it could be polished and it would look gorgeous. I don't know, the round counterbalance looks a bit too mod for this piece.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll move on to.
So
I thought it was
just
interesting.
Let
before
Mr.
you
Beaver
do-
chat about the Patek reference if it's nearby.
Yeah,
if he likes.
just super quick. So this is where they've got the inspiration from, right? Which is a lot of Baltic, a lot of Furlan Marry.
Yeah, beautiful.
Is basically and I've been looking for a cheaper version of this watch basically, because these watches are really, really expensive.
$200,000, aren't they?
No, it's about this
Not-
one's
not
about
that high.
100. It's
Yeah.
about 100 Aussie for this one. This is a 5170, so it's not the split seconds
Oh,
chronograph.
it's not the
It's the
5370.
it's the entry level into the group.
Right.
Yeah, basically, it's just straight up Patek chronograph. That's all it is. No date, very thin, 40 mil. The
No
Breguets.
Grand Phone enamel dial. It's a matte dial. They're really cutting costs where they can.
Well, this is the precursor. This is the predecessor to the
To the
5370.
5370.
So this is 5170. So as you say, IDGuy, and the 5370 had the Grand Foy enamel dial. This one doesn't have that one. So the cost is a lot less, and it's not a split second chronograph, right? So I think it's hats off to them for trying to do something like this. I think a lot of collectors, like guys like me, are looking for a watch that looks like this. And that's where those guys are going, right? They're trying to tap into that sort of collector market of guys who want, who love this
absolutely.
watch.
Yeah.
that counterbalance on the seconds hand, another just a great example of how good a white seconds hand can be. I don't know what the blue idea was about, but
yeah. But you'll see on this one, look at those chronograph subdials, like how they fill up the dial.
And they're slightly lower.
And they're slightly lower, and they're big too. Whereas you go back to the other one that we were just looking at, that they look quite anemic and it's thin and small compared to this. This is like you're down to business. It's a chronograph. It's functional. It's got a purpose. You can use it and see the timing and etc. Whereas on the other ones, these ones using the Mecha Quartz movements, generally what you'll find is those subdials, the bicompact subdials, are a little bit small. That's my only sort of criticism of those. They need to beef them up a little bit.
I think they're also looking at a different time period with that model, because it does look very 40s with those shark's teeth plots and hobnails in some places. With the smaller subdials, it's actually quite true to form to those early, late 30s, early 40s World War II era. That's interesting. Interesting.
So this is coming out of China. This one. I know you're a chronograph guy, JCB, but this one beats me. I thought this might be an interesting one for you.
Yeah, this is your jam. I think this sort of style.
The Mercure.
Okay.
It's a mystery single-hand chronograph watch. So this what baffles me a little bit and
Nice.
starts to show some of the wacky style designs that appear on Kickstarter. They say that to simplify the reading of time, we used a new method, and this is a single-handed watch with you can see all the design and process they went through just to create a single-handed watch.
It's very Aquastar, Deep Star.
It looks a bit Aquastar-ish, yeah. Let me scroll.
It has a. I think it might have a Moser kind of vibe with that central hand that checks every minute. So you've got a running seconds, and then that small red at the 15 marker. I think that's pointing out your minutes.
Yeah, single-handed watch with a chronograph. It looks funky, but I'm a little uncertain about it. It comes with two sizes: 39mm in black and silver, and a white dial, and 40mm with a salmon dial, made specifically for the Kickstarter campaign. Both featuring what they call a 2-register chronograph. It uses a manually round Seagull ST1901 movement, and is 50 meters water resistant and made of 316L steel. It's been sold at a price of 468 Aussie, which is £246, which isn't too bad. It's just
Are these guys from Aussie? Are they?
Yeah, they're charging it in Aussie. They're doing the campaign in Australian dollars.
So they're an Australian company. Is that right?
No, they're coming out of China.
China. Okay.
So you've got running seconds on the right. You've got the minute track scale on the inside. Looks like the inside of a dartboard. That little red hand at the 3 position, and then you've got a central seconds that runs, a chronograph seconds that runs at the top. It's pretty good.
The red,
interesting.
Yeah, the big red hand. Yeah. That's your chronograph seconds, right? And
Right.
What's the hand pointing out to 9? That's your time.
That's your time. Yeah, it's just one hand for time. So it's like a what's that full hour? Yeah, it's busy.
This is time. This is the hand that tells the time. I'll play the video.
Yeah.
I'll go back to the video.
Yeah, weird thing. Bidirectional time. No, that'd make it even more complicated. What?
That's a nice color.
Well, all that bezel is crazy. The hell?
What? So how do you? Oh, you don't even have a. No,
what?
I'm confused. Okay, so that was just a counterbalance on for the. Oh, well, that's disappointing. That's just a counterbalance for the minute hand.
Yeah, you thought that was a separate hand. Yeah.
Oh man, come on.
The blue stripe one does look quite nice, actually.
Well,
that's a weird one, that isn't it?
Yeah. I haven't even started drinking yet.
This brand, Mercure, makes this. I don't know, is it the same brand? But they make safety razors, and actually they're out from Germany. Yeah, they make safety razors. Yes,
why not?
Mercure, actually, it's a brand that they used to make. I think they still do make safety razors, and I have one of them, the 34C safety razor. It's still one of the best. I'm just surprised that there's a watch that's called Mercure as well. Yeah.
So that's very Aquastar, Deep Star, but I don't know about questionable about the star aspect. I don't know if it's much of a star.
I don't get that one, that single hand time telling. I think it's a bit gimmicky for me. So get rid of that one.
We have a normal watch.
Now we'll move on to this one, the Manman BR Automatic. And you're gonna, when I say this one, Wandering Hour watch, coming out of Hong Kong. This one.
That's not that bad.
Now tell me, IDGuy, tell me what watch this reminds you of.
It's
Audemars PJ. Star wheel.
Star Wheel.
Yeah. It's quite nice, actually. It's nice and clean. I was going to say, what's the other make? It's still early in the morning for me. It's midday, so it's still early in the morning.
It has a
Um,
bit of NBNF kind of traits.
this
NBNF
is
traits.
complete.
Yeah.
Sticking with different ways of telling the time. Here we're also crossing into the homage category, I think, with a
Yeah,
blatant
this
rip-off.
there's another
That's just a rip off of the Star Wheel, isn't it? Tom?
Woodwork does this stuff, man. This
AP
is
Code 11 Star
hold on a
Wheel.
sec. Hold a
The
sec.
campaign notes say they're paying homage to mesmerizing mechanical structures of the past, blending tradition and innovation. And they've made several colorways of this watch, each limited to 100 pieces, powered by a Miyota 8215 automatic movement with 36 hours power reserve. A 41.2mm case, 12.13 thick. It's marketed at $198, which they say is 47% of the MSRP of $380. And it's a blatant copy of the Star Wheel, I think.
It's interesting. I ran into a buddy in a taxi once, and he was wearing, kid you not, out of all the taxis in London when I was there, we run into each other, and he's wearing an Uwerk 220 in the taxi, and he hands it to me, and it's the same style of rotating wheels, and that's the first thing that comes to mind. Uwerk. Except the minute counters should be at the bottom underneath, so just inverted. But it's a really cool design. It's really clever. But I get it is it's also very simple and a bit homagey.
But you get a lot of these wandering hours type watches on Kickstarter, I find.
It must be an affordable movement. Yeah, it's just there's no excitement to it, you know. It looks like a bingo watch, something, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't inject any life. It's just flat colors and flat numbers, and what you see is what you get. Miyota movement.
Sometimes it makes me feel like the 3 sub-dials would move inside. Maybe I'm expecting a bit too much.
No, they
do.
I mean, yeah. As you move the crown, as you move the crown, each one is going to rotate and eventually meet up to the minutes. It's a very cool animation.
They're even giving a history of wandering hours. So it started with its clock in 1656.
That's recent.
And then Breguet did it in 1820, and then Grun Geneva did a wandering hours pocket watch, and then they even acknowledged the Star Wheel Audemars Piguet in 2022. And if you just look at these two pictures,
that's a code 1159, right?
Yeah, the code 1159.
How does that watch have a better designed case than a Kickstarter watch? I mean, the code 1159, as we know, has been just dragged through the mud.
I love the Star Wheel. I think it's great. I really like it. If it didn't have the second hand,
you're right.
It'd be brilliant. But if you just compare these two, this one on the left, Audemars Piguet, and that one for 198. I mean, I think it's a great way for people to actually get access to that kind of design.
I guess so.
Price, you know? If you can't afford $57,000 for a Star Wheel, at least you can afford 198 for one of these, you know. But
it's true.
It is a blatant ripoff, but they can't deny that. But it does allow you access to that kind of look, you know.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I'm not even a fan of the AP. If that's bold enough to say. There's something so nice about when the hour reveals itself instead of it always being on display. If that makes sense, like the Uwerks as a comparison. They articulate and basically hide the right number until the time is right. Where here it's It's like a Sudoku watch.
It does feel a bit like musical chairs where they're playing the numbers and it goes
Yeah.
one. So I guess I have to try and learn to understand where exactly and when to read it based
Yeah, it's
on
just at
that
the top. It's just at the top.
simulation. Okay.
You just keep looking at the number at the top all the time. So the 10 will stay 10 until it hits the 60, and then the 11 will join in. It's very cool. It's a very cool animation.
Okay.
But it's, yeah, I love it when the numbers are hidden and then reveal. It's interesting. Not everyone's cup of tea.
No, everyone's cup of tea. Well,
$198, Thomas? US dollar?
$198
It's pretty good, considering.
dollars. Yeah, it's very good considering.
You're getting that complication. And it's a Miyota movement, so it's going to be pretty bulletproof, which is even cooler. Miyota base caliber.
I mean, I brought up. There's a couple of these sort of watches that I brought up. There's another one here, which is more like the Moser version rather than the AP.
An
version.
Endeavor.
The AR3 Kings Automatic, which again is that Wandering Hours look.
That's nicer. The Fume is exciting.
Yeah, these are a campaign that ended in 2021 before the release of the AP Code 1159 Star Wheel in 2022. And as I say, this watch reminds me more of the Moser Endeavor Flying Hours with its choice of glossy colored dials. Some of the scripts in their campaign described it respectively to the point of saying our creations are not the exclusive baubles of the ultra rich. Yet an angler's watch will impress at every price point. So these have an exhibition case back, still using the Miyota 9039 movements, and these are $395, and they say you're saving $365 off the MSRP of $760. This deep black version uses a Selita version. Selita SW200 though, and is $897, saving you $793 off the MSRP of $1,600. So it's got a sterling silver case, however, and they claimed it was the world's first extreme black Wandering Hours watch with a sterling silver case. And Selita SW200 movement. So that's
something to promote. It's the world's first.
Shout about.
Yeah,
you can see underneath the world's first extreme black Wandering Hours watch with sterling silver watch case and
at 40 millimeters with a 20 mil lug width with a leather strap. No one's ever done that either. So
100%. Yeah.
Oy. Well.
I'm the first person in the world to be wearing a Zelos on this NATO and drinking Glenmorangie right now. Okay.
Exactly. I'm the first person in the world to wear a Seiko on an Omega mesh bracelet, drinking rooibos tea from South Africa in -1 degrees, sitting in that. I mean, it's like, okay. What I do like about
this, got
this,
some Burberry running there, and you see he's in a scarf. He's got some Burberry classic.
It's not actually Burberry. It's Pringle, but same design. Yeah,
okay.
I wish it was.
AliExpress Burberry.
AliExpress Burberry. What I like about this is the fact that you can only really see the hour marker as it's working in tandem. You know, as it's running. All the other hour markers are sort of hidden behind the mechanics. Or they're the other way around, and it looks better. If that, it's pretty. That's an improvement. It's a big improvement.
So there's the Miyota movement in all its glory,
and it's got a running seconds hand. Yeah, that's quite nice. I like that better than the first one. I mean, at least there's some pizzazz, some style to it.
But you're paying double the price. You're paying double the price from the first one for this one.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, if it speaks to you, then go for it. But I think Mr. Beaver is not very enthused with this design
No,
and
I'm
the
not.
style.
I'm not feeling this one. I don't know what this one's got that AliExpress feel to it for me.
Uh,
Yes, so
I've
we'll
got-
move on. Do you want to move
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, let's
please,
move on.
as fast
Yeah,
as
yeah.
possible, man.
No, we need to give IDGuy something stronger in the morning, like black coffee from Sumatran black coffee.
I've got some. I've got Brazilian and Honduras and all that stuff downstairs. But no, I said tea. Start the day with tea instead. Maybe it was a bad call. I don't know if I'm going to make it.
So this one, the Mexep.
Who?
Be the one to wear the watch of the future, and this campaign's been suspended.
Oh,
That's not a good
But
sign.
it caught my eyes. We're on topic of different time displays. He uses a battery-driven.
Go up. It says funding was suspended by Kickstarter. What's all that about?
Oh,
I don't know, I have no idea. But the watch uses different time displays. As we're on the topic of different time displays, he's battery-driven movement using computer numerical control motors. They call CNC. That utilize different programming and tracking for time calibration. And so they say. It replaces traditional watches mainspring with the computer numerical controlled motor driving, and the battery can be charged using USB Type-C connector. The left side of the display shows the, if I just get to it through all these pictures, so there you can see you can charge it up
Hours and
using a
minutes.
USB. The left side of the display shows the hour and minute markers, while the right side shows the minute and second markers. So traditional circular dial has been converted into linear markers, making it clean to read. Like many electronic watches, it has an LED backlight, and the case is made from 316L steel and is available in a PVD coated version. It's 38mm wide and 14.5 thick, 48 look to look, available in red, yellow, and green colored accents. They're asking $189 for the black case or $199 for the silver case, and it says that the campaign's funding has been suspended, though whether the project is on hold, I'm not sure, and I've never seen this mentioned on a paper before.
I feel like there could be some infringement because Devon Tread is the brand I was looking for. Devon Tread makes an exact version like this. Tim Mosso loves them so much. He will talk about them to death.
With the belt with the belts on the numerals on the belt.
Yeah. This could have been. I don't know if this is how this one works. Probably very similar. But whoa, far out, man. Yeah, Kickstarter obviously took offense to this and said, "Sorry, guys.
That was like, no,
The design's just not good enough, guys. Sorry."
Yeah.
pretty much annihilated them. I'm sorry to say, though. So this is almost like powered using a USB Type-C to charge it. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's in a way, it's like a smartwatch
Oh,
to a degree.
I'm afraid so. Which means it has to end up the same way a smartwatch ends up.
So it's a lithium. I'm assuming it's a lithium-powered watch.
Probably lithium-ion. Yeah. Well, interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Devon Tread.
So it's a big thumbs down for that one, is it, you think?
Well, put it this way, I don't think there's been many watches in this selection so far that have really made us jump for joy yet. But we still we soldier on. We
have hope.
You never know. Your luck in the big city. Devon Tread.
You're not gonna like this one.
Oh, jeez. Well, let's go for it.
The Tera Ultimate Luxury All-Terrain Watch. Now, this campaign is obviously pushing itself to so-called luxury watch.
ultimate
This is-
luxury.
It reminds me of the look of a Hublot, and they're charging
No.
1,655 euros with a 43% discount off of 1,238 off the MSRP. They do, however, say that there will be another 344 for shipping, and the shipping to the EU, and it's a limited edition of 250 in grade 5 titanium, and it uses a precise Swiss-made S24-SKA movement, which is basically a 2824-2, which are a couple of parts replaced to make it resistant to magnetic field, shock, and temperature variations. They say.
I think I know how this was made.
This
Yeah, go for it.
This I feel just sort of shows how projects can get more expensive when they not Chinese based. You know, this is coming out of Antwerp in Belgium, and does workmanship really live up to the price? It probably does, but I just don't like the design of this. This is horrible.
Well, I feel like the creators must have shaken hands with Jean-Claude Beaver at one stage and took a sliver of his DNA from the handshake, right? And then put that into a Hadron Collider or something, and then took some Casio oak full metal inspiration in there, and then threw a bit of Zenith Defy and then a bit of Hublot, and
they've filled the Kickstarter campaign. It's got 9 days left to go, and they've surpassed their goal, so it's going to go through. But they've got backing off media. But I'll just
isn't it? But, I mean, what does it say when they have media backing? When any and every Kickstarter brand gets backing of media, doesn't that kind of dilute the whole purpose of significance? God, it is just a Hublot, isn't it?
It's a Hublot. It's a Hublot.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's a Hublot.
I like that name. What is that? Bwandi Green. Is that Swahili, or is that I don't know.
Windy Forest?
Windy. Okay.
Windy Forest?
Uganda. There we go. That's very cool.
Okay. Interesting.
I like the colors though. That's the thing. The design that's forged carbon. That looks sick.
Guy black.
No, not the rainbow. Don't go rainbow.
Oh, come on, man. I was liking that one.
Hogarth Brown.
What's the material for the bezel, Thomas? Is it a resin, or are we looking at some kind of
sure.
composite?
Some are. I mean, the one was forged carbon for sure. This looks like a
grade 5
steel.
titanium. It says titanium. It's
Okay.
made of titanium. I don't know whether the bezel's made of titanium. But...
You know, considering all that we've seen so far, I actually like this range the best. I do.
I
do, because it's at least interest. You can spend a good minute looking at it, and it looks kind of interesting. There's been some good attention to detail here.
Let's see the price on this. 1,600
in euros. Okay.
Oh, really?
Seriously,
That's
painful.
You're getting grade 5 titanium. You're getting rubber infused leather straps. You're getting forged carbon. You're getting an ETA 2824. That's a bit questionable, but I mean, materials make a difference. I mean, this they look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna beat around. I think this has been the best so far. I don't know if that's saying much, but and it does look just like a Hublot homage. But I mean, yeah, not bad. Vomit colored for your pleasure, Chili Badger.
Chili Badger, yeah, vomit colored for your pleasure. So I would say, to justify this price, I would need to look underneath the hood of this watch and really look at the water resistance.
That's true.
I'm guessing it's not COSE certified, so
ways. What's no ways.
It's not COSE certified. Then there is also Muhammad Ali. So the next thing would be all the materials and even the power reserve and all the things.
Can we go up to the green one, please? The green one, please. I can't stand looking at this brown one anymore.
Yeah, guys, while you keep
scroll up a bit, scroll up.
This watch, I'm going to actually say my goodbyes and jump off and leave you guys to enjoy the rest of the Kickstarter watches.
Have we ruined your evening?
No, it's getting late here. Actually, it's like 11:30, and I've got an early start tomorrow. I've got a lot on, so
Okay.
got a few.
Okay,
to do.
JCB.
B.
Take care,
Yeah,
brother.
Take care,
it's good seeing
JCB.
Good seeing you guys again, and IDGuy, thank you for joining us. It's always
Yeah,
a pleasure,
pleasure.
when you join us. We'll see you next time.
Cheers,
Take care,
brother.
Take
buddy.
care, JCB.
Yeah. So this is.
So that you like this one most so far.
And when I said that, he left. So obviously there's some parity in there. I've obviously ruined the show an hour into it.
No, we'll see what else crops up. I think you'll like this one. The Vermont Predator. This campaign has ended now, I believe. Titanium Seiko Willard reissue. The company previously released a titanium and carbon fiber version of this design, which is the watch on the thumbnail. And this watch was a titanium version with a titanium bracelet that houses a Seiko NH70 Ruthenium movement, and it's limited to 100 pieces. It's a choice of 4 straps, no date movement, skeletonized on a Halloween leather or rubber strap. Shark mesh bracelet is £35 extra, and solid titanium bracelet is £50 extra. So I quite like this one.
It looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. I like the metal. Not a fan of the dial, and then everything else is a 6105. But yeah, pretty good.
Nice on that bracelet.
It does feel fitting for its age.
It feels what for its age?
Fitting for its age.
Yeah.
It has a very Bundeswehr. It feels like a German diver in a way, but it's not. It's an oddball. Looks pretty good though. I don't mind. But the dial, yeah, it's interesting at least. It's not.
Again, it's falling into that homage category, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is for sure.
There's a turtle case, and I think for me, number one, the thing I quite like is the fact that I can see the movement. Is it a see-through case back, Thomas?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Solid case.
Then the bracelet would be quite is it the integrated type of bracelet there?
No, it's it's a flat end link.
Okay, flat. Yeah, right.
Comes on a Halloween strap, so this is £50 extra for this bracelet. Or it comes on a rubber strap.
Okay, this bronze one is quite nice.
No, it's not bronze. It's titanium.
It's just the lighting.
Okay. Okay, I like the mesh one. The mesh one's my favorite.
The mesh bracelet's £35 extra.
Yeah, these Kickstarter watches, man, they do cause a bit of a headache. It's funny, hey? It's like it's uncanny valley. It's like you know what you're looking at, but it's not that. It's something else, and it's
the word abomination would not be fair to the creative aspects of it.
Yeah,
but I'll have to still give credits.
It does look unfinished. There's something missing.
Fat skeleton turtle. Yeah, you could say that, Chili.
Your Chili Badger's right, but one thing is that they're using the turtle case, which actually is quite a popular choice in terms of these types of diver pieces. Yeah. And they've taken some straps and adaptations from the turtle case. Sorry, Thomas.
Would you say that the turtle case is a Seiko thing, and is it a rip-off?
Yes.
Yes. Thanks. So there we go.
It's asking that question. I mean, with all of these watches, it's asking that question: would you want to wear it? Is it a watch that you want to wear? And I think,
yeah, exactly.
Very questionable.
My criteria when it comes to Kickstarter watches, and if carrying a high price tag, is all about it looking different and unique than a homage or looking like something else.
Yeah.
But it's hard because these Kickstarters need to appeal to the masses, so they have to make something quite similar to the popular timepieces.
Zin 103.
So this is Trintech
Wonderful.
coming out of Canada. It's a Trintech. It's a co-pilot airfield founded in 1984 as a manufacturer of aviation-inspired gifts. And Trintech made their first watch in 1990, and inspired by an aircraft altimeter, their first watch. Two of the watches followed in 1992, both airfield inspired, and apparently their watches have been popular among pilots and aviation enthusiasts. Seiko NH35A again, hacking movement, 200-meter water resistant, no date dial, stainless steel sandblasted finish on the case or black PVD coated. Canadian dollars, this one's coming out at 325 Canadian dollars, which is US 240, and it's got a retail of 450 US dollars. So you're saving $200 on the Kickstarter campaign. So this again, yeah, it's got that Zin look, like you say, but for $240.
Bell and Ross.
Bell and Ross, yeah, Bell and Ross, Zin.
I think Vertex does a similar design. I don't know. It's
a standard pilot's watch look, basically, isn't it? But it's not bad. It's the least offensive one we've seen, I think.
That's
so
true.
far.
That's true. You can't really mess up a simple thing. I just find it interesting how a lot of these watches have that Kickstarter-y sort of feel to them. You can almost tell before looking at, or when you see it, that it originated on Kickstarter. Is there like a criteria? It's interesting.
They seem to be taking bits and pieces from different brands and then harmonizing it into a watch. I mean, like you said, Bell and Ross in their hands, and then the big numerals.
Bell and Ross does the same with the numerals.
Yes,
Funny, believe it or not,
and when they say like co-pilot or pilot's watch, we've always thought that it might carry some traits of the Flieger design and the triangle at the 12 and the two dots. Yeah.
It's just a standard pilot's watch. It's, I think, least offensive and most basic design we've seen so far. Skip on. Now, I found it really interesting that established brands are still using the Kickstarter platform.
Yema.
And I got Yema, yeah, the Superman bronze. They're still using the Kickstarter platform to launch watches. We saw with the last watch, the established brands use Kickstarter and not just new brands. And this can be seen on this campaign with Yema, who are established and still using Kickstarter's platform. This is a Superman bronze, which is limited to 1,948 pieces because Yema were founded in 1948. It's equipped with Yema's new in-house CMM 10 caliber with 70 hours power reserve, and is available in 39 or 41 millimeter sizes. The bronze Superman was nicknamed the Moby Dick in 2019 due to its association with an oceanographic mission to study sperm whales in the Indian Ocean.
What a nickname.
The price was 999 euros, or 1,199 including the VAT, which was 44% of the full retail price of 1,790 euros. So you can see there, they're saying that you save you
A bit of money.
save about 700 euros on if you go through the Kickstarter campaign.
So they called a reference the Moby Dick because it was used as a part of an expedition to study sperm whales. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'll just get to that.
Bronze cases, that's a whole other kettle of fish.
It is,
But
isn't it?
The Superman is cool. The Superman is a cool piece. I do love those bracelets and stuff that they do.
One that looks like fish scales.
Mm.
There we go. In 2019, the Superman bronze in history, dubbed by watch amateurs Moby Dick, was released to support an oceanographic mission studying a family of 30 sperm whales in the Indian Ocean over several years.
Very interesting. Yeah, they're fascinating animals too. I don't know if you know much about sperm whales, if we want to deviate from the conversation, but
Yeah.
they're cool. Yeah, Yema, great brand, awesome design, very unique, apart from the dial, which looks very Submariner-ish, but a pilot's watch. It's not a diver's watch. Historically, it's been used as a pilot's watch, which is a big laugh. It was actually issued to the French Air Force. I think
Really?
Yeah, I think
Interesting.
it was the French Navy Air Force that were issued these. They serve their purpose as pilot watches and not dive watches, which is an interesting thing. Maybe that's where I don't know if that's where the Superman name originated, but yeah, cool little story about these things. And that locking bezel feature, it's archaic, but it's also quite cool. It's a clever idea. So you unscrew I don't know if you guys know, I'm sure most of you guys know, you unscrew the crown so you can unlock the bezel.
Yeah.
And then you turn it, screw the crown back down, and that'll lock it in place. Clever method. Simple.
So Pafaris is saying Yema is good watches, but the price is exaggerated.
Exaggerated price. Okay.
Once
Yeah.
a brand name takes off.
Yema is interesting because they have started over here in Singapore. They've actually entered into a few local shops, like merchants that sell a lot of types of different brands. And Yema has actually creeped in. There's another brand called something MA. I know the last type was something MA, but
SYMA, SYMA maybe. I don't know.
SYMA. Oh, I know the last two is like MA, but two more alphabets at the front. So Yema has actually creeped up with SYMA too. Now I don't know how they managed to do it, but they somehow managed to go inside, and turn in a way like infiltrate into the local shops that sell many different brands of watches, like mid-tier watches. Yeah.
So I mean, I just wanted to skip across a few other micro brands. I mean, another brand that established itself on Kickstarter was Zerich. They made interesting time displays with their rotating rings indicating the hours and minutes, and this watch is a tribute to the Voyager spacecraft, which launched in 1977 and explored Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, 48 of their moons, and is still transmitting information back to Earth from 13 billion miles away. So I don't know what a dive watch has to do with a satellite.
That is just marketing in the most beautiful way.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Are they actually allowed to put NASA on the dial? I'm quite impressed.
Yeah, absolutely. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, this one has a 1,000-meter depth rating with a helium escape valve, and is using a Seiko NH35 movement. They've got NASA all over the place.
They look pretty good. Yeah. Striking. They do feel like a space module, and it's pretty cool. Nice levels of depth, 3 dimensions.
It's
Not bad.
numbered to 1,977 pieces to mark the year the Voyager 1 and 2 were launched.
Oh boy.
Available in several colorways and selling for $379, which was 37 off the $600 retail value there. Coming out of California, this brand, sorry.
That's why it has NASA on it, I think. Yeah. Interesting how if you look at the 6 o'clock marker, that triangle to rectangle looks like a module. What did they use? I think it was the Alaska project, Omega Alaska project, had similar hands based on that design.
In terms of this brand, Thomas, actually Zarek, I've actually looked at it and I've actually was very close towards buying one of their watches, but I kind of held back because I wasn't sure and I wanted to know more about reviews from other people who purchased it. They actually have one called the NASA Apollo 15 American Moon Phase, which actually has a very beautiful dial, and the loom in terms of it is out of the world. Because if any of you get the chance to do it, go check out the NASA Apollo 15 American Moon Phase, and the moon phase actually has a very beautiful loom when you charge it up and you light it in the night. It's just beautiful. Yeah.
It's actually very interesting. So it's using all that negative space to be loom as well. It's like a sandwich dial. That's pretty cool.
So that was Zarek, another brand which established itself on Kickstarter were Ver.
Yeah. They've done well.
They're established brand that used Kickstarter for lots of press coverage, and this field watch was selling for $329, 20% off the retail price of $449, a saving of $120. It just used a Miyota 9015 movement and was assembled in the USA. So if American people are big on
British field watch design.
Yeah, USA watches assembled the USA watches with a British field watch design. Yeah.
I'm sure they've got Benrus or Hamilton designs too. I'm pretty sure they do. This was just this looks like a Dirty Dozen piece from back in the day.
Another one which established itself on Kickstarter was let's have a look. Maine.
Yeah.
They made these chronographs. Quite nice chronographs, really.
That is decent. That is very, very nice. Nice spacing. The sub-dials really fit the dial nicely.
They're coming out of Sweden, Maine, and they did 5 different color variants of this watch. This chronograph looked rather nice, I thought, from another established micro brand that made it on Kickstarter. Got an exhibition case back. Uses an ETA 2984 movement. Was selling in 2020 for €799 euros, including VAT, which seemed quite good for a nice looking custom-made watch. See some of the colors if we can get down quickly. So it's
wow,
black
very interesting. It's got very Hoya Carrera sort of feel, Hoya Ortavia to it.
It has a Bulova feel to me. The Bulova.
Nice balance. Yeah, it looks good. When you have a model that's so nicely proportioned, it's hard to actually give it any bad ratings. This is decent. Very, very decent. 38 mils.
Yeah, 38.
Racing dial. No, that's a bit odd.
That's wicked in terms of the sub dials. I like that chaos in the design.
But yeah, nice designed watch. Nicely designed watch, and
very good.
another brand that made it on Kickstarter. And one more that made it on Kickstarter. Which
We should have
is-
started with these gems before divulging into the creatures that we saw earlier on.
Another brand that made it on Kickstarter, which started off with these
That's a whack, yeah.
supercar inspired four-arm wandering owl watch, which was funded in 10 minutes. This one, now available on their website, of course. This was funded in 10 minutes. An Airwork style design,
Very.
very Airworkish. It was selling for $299, which was 54% off the $649 MSRP. Back in, I think it's 2020 or 2019. This one. But Atowax now, they've released the Cobra, the Tarantula, and which cost about £2,000, and this Etoile was only using a Miyota 9015 movement.
1915.
But
Yeah.
I guess that's how they managed to keep the price to $2,099. Available in a range of colours. It's like a few of the brands we've seen. A lot of media coverage. They got you can see in different colours there. They got a lot of media coverage on different websites.
And the Bugatti Chiron as the backdrop of the
And with a name like Atowac, I mean, really, that's something I just can't disconnect the name from the. Does that line up with the design of the watch? Atowac.
I don't know, but I just find that since their Kickstarter days, they've now gone website driven. They're a Hong Kong based company, and they're charging. If you look at this $299 price off Kickstarter with a recommended retail MSRP of $649, they're now charging $2,500 for the Atowac Cobra and things like that. You know,
they've obviously been successful.
They've inflated their prices, you know, 3-4-fold. So,
and that's a commentary on the industry that we will definitely get into one day. It's crazy, hey. Once a name is established, you can pretty much demand whatever you like. If there is a lot of interest, clearly there is interest in these.
Yeah.
But how fast the price shot up, you know, in terms of popularity, and people start sharing it on social media, the hashtagging.
Yeah.
Okay, the hashtagging and all that, when that starts shooting up, and then you have some watch influencers from globally, and they start picking up on these watches, that's when the prices start to go up, you know. And yeah, Atowac itself, I do know some influencers who have started to share about. There's one called the Spaceship, which they have. The one, the Spaceship, and that one costs about $2,500 or $2,300. I think it's in dollars. Yeah.
For a Miyota-based movement, still, hey?
I believe it's in dollars because they don't show the currency at the back. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the website. Let me just see. Oh, okay. So in terms of the Atowac that you're showing, Thomas, the Atowac Etor Drift 4-arm Wandering Hour, in my currency, it's about $1,775.80 Singapore dollars. Yeah.
Wow.
That's quite a lot of money for a brand like that. Yeah.
With a Miyota movement.
Yes.
Goodness.
So I mean, unless you're paying for the complication, or you're paying for the materials and complication, then maybe we could justify. But if they halve the price a bit, like 700 Singapore dollars, maybe 500, 600, 800, it could still be justifiable. But when you stretch into the thousands and beyond, it starts getting a bit like hit and miss. It's a hit and miss, really. Yeah.
You could say it's inflation. You could say it's
They probably
know.
already, in the back of their minds, they had a pre-established price before taking it to Kickstarter, and they knew that was the price they were working towards. So they just wanted to get the ball rolling and then slap the big price on. Maybe.
Yeah. And I couldn't, with it being November, I couldn't not include a Movember watch. So France Mona watches doing their Movember limited edition. €599 for an early bird offer for the brand Mona, are known for their lugless designs. Despite being labelled as a Movember watch, Mona are only going to donate 5% of the money raised to the Movember charity, which I don't feel is enough. Things are using
at least 10% or 15 or something.
Seeing as they're using the charity's name to boost their company, seems a bit.
That ends it on a high note, hey?
Seems a bit of a, bit tight, really. Using a Salita SW100 automatic movement, and they got a few colorways in this one, but yeah, 5% is that. I just thought it was a bit.
It's a bit of an afterthought, eh?
It's a bit like petty cash, really. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, it's not the most innovative design. Once again, I like the case. The texturing is nice. It's feels very toned, very engine toned. But
that actually feels like what you're saying, IDGuy, deserves to be on a car dashboard. In the car.
It does.
Yeah, it feels like on a car dashboard.
Slots in.
Yeah.
But as for the design, I mean, this looks like something Braun would come up with. This is a Dieter Rams design from Year Dot. Yeah. Kickstarter. Question we have to ask: are we convinced? Has our suspicions led us to find Kickstarter to be? Yeah. What do you think?
Now,
what are the opinions on Kickstarter watches now that we've seen a handful?
Well, this one's going to blow your mind. This one.
Blow my mind in a good way.
Try us, Thomas. Try us.
It's gonna. I mean, this might make you mind up about Kickstarter watches.
Oh jeez. I feel this is going to be good.
No, not this one. Sorry. I'll just bring up this one, but the next one. This one is just not for me at all. I mean, look at it. This is interchangeable bezels with different numerals and indices on it.
Oh no! It's got flathead screws. It's a pop out. Oh no!
Yeah,
Montre Lacombe, a Lacombe watch made in France.
This one I really dislike.
Mon Dieu!
Interchangeable bezels have different indices and designs on the crystals. You can see by the green backing line that not many people are finding it popular. Not many people have backed this one.
Oh dear.
Oh,
zero backed. Oh dear.
It's selling for €380, which is €100 off the retail price, and it was far too gimmicky for me. It's a quartz meter movement, definitely a fashion watch.
No.
Yeah.
So are those dials basically there's a pane of sapphire glass that you just unscrew it and then just pop another one on?
You have to physically get your tool and unscrew two flatheads that you will most likely skip off or slip on, scratch the bezel in the process to replace with another color dial. Oh geez.
That means that the water resistance because you have to
Water
bypass the
resistance.
rubber gasket, right?
There's probably no
The
rubber
water
gaskets.
resistance will be a little bit on the tricky side already. Because if you get it wrong and the gasket has a gap, that's it. Pretty much water goes in to the
Man,
dial already.
someone, you unscrewing the bezel, and then one of those flathead screws falls into the dial and scratches it or something.
Oh,
daft, or
no.
the screwdriver slips out of your hand and falls into the dial. There's no margin for error here, and yoy. Wow.
I think I could only do that if the brand Montre Lacombe gave me like one of those loops, and then I have to wear a loop to do it, and I need the green padding on the watchmaker's table to do all the work on it.
For me, the biggest failure point is you're using a flathead screwdriver on a polished bezel that's not
polished bezel.
That's not rounded. It's a flat polished bezel, so it's just asking for you to slip that screwdriver across it, and then that's the first. No, wow. Okay,
it would have been nice if they just
so far.
I know what IDGuy is saying. It would have been nice if they said that they gave you bracelet options and you can just attach it and detach it at the very least, because I'm no watchmaker and I know I'm gonna screw it all up totally.
Unscrew it, you mean? So
in the whole process of doing it, I'm just gonna muck it up and the whole thing's just gonna fall apart. Like, you know what? I'm done.
Wow, that's an interesting one. Thank you for that, Thomas.
That was a horrible one, wasn't it? Now this is gonna blow your mind. This one.
Okay.
We've had NASA watches. We've seen a NASA watch, and
oh no.
Oh, hey, Abdul. How you doing,
Hey, Abdul?
Abdul?
Hi,
Abdul.
Doing?
Welcome.
We are suffering in silence here, going through some very interesting Kickstarter pieces.
We've had a NASA watch, and you're gonna love this one. Designed by limited edition Egg-on watch company, limited edition designed by William Shatner and approved by NASA, with certified meteorite dust on the dial.
No, man, you're kidding me.
Certified dust.
What?
Certified dust.
Meteorite dial.
No, it's certified dust. Meteorite dust.
Meteorite
so
dust.
the watch dial is dusty. It's like a meteorite. I heard like meteorite dial. Like, really?
I cannot believe that these are actually things that exist.
Yeah. Limited to 5,000 pieces. You take out 4 Kickstarter.
5,000 only.
Only limited to 5,000.
You take out 4th Kickstarter watch. It has the William Shatner signature etched under the crystal.
Oh, come on.
And there's $415, which has
How much?
$280 off. $415. It's bizarre.
This is just. I can't believe this is real. It's the same damn picture every time. Can we have another look at this thing? It's like 5 of the same picture. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I love the honeycomb of the James Webb telescope. Is it the James Webb? I think.
Yeah.
Inspired by the Webb.
That is just hideous. I didn't even read that, but that is just what?
Swiss assembled.
Oh yeah.
Wow, Swiss assembled.
Oh,
Well, there's a mistake on the dial there at the back. What is that burn mark on the? Oh God, that is terrible. What are they thinking? How does this exist? I mean,
assembled by expert watchmakers with a minimum of 10 years experience.
you can't make the Shatner watch unless you have a minimum of 10 years experience. The
Thomas,
Shatner watch.
Is this under IDGuy? Because I'm seeing it.
It is. Yeah, it is.
IDGuy.
Yeah, IDGuy.
Why does it sound so familiar? Okay, IDGuy. Okay.
Because we never had much of a regard for them. So.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It would have been nice if they made a case and they actually had the whole Earth, spinning round. Maybe I'm thinking a bit too much in terms of the Jacob watch already, the Jacob and Co. Astronomia watch. I think that has literally became like my template of like if I want a watch that actually talks to me about space. I'm a
cannot
bit.
I think
believe
that's the Shatner design you're looking at.
It is a Shatner design.
Shatner design, right? I thought actually they were saying shit design, but yeah, it's Shatner, I think.
Shit.
That
It should have a Star
telescope-
Trek badge. Sorry, ID.
No, go for it. Go for it. I was just going to
It
say
should have
that
a Star Trek badge somewhere when you press it and it.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I mean that Webb telescope central, whatever that is, if that's the hand, the main hand to that watch. Oh.
We've got a
Wow.
question for you, IDGuy. IDGuy, is there any chance you're going back to live streaming like you used to? It used to be a very entertaining show.
Just yesterday, I bought a really cool Logitech 4K webcam. So I'm getting, it's all happening. That's part of the reason why I'm here, is to get my mind back into the live stream space. It's been a while. It's been 2 years. But yes, it's going to happen. Actually, coming to the end of the year, I'm going to start again. Try to start again. Get another wrist shot week going. We'll see how that happens. But
I always
looking
enjoyed
forward to
your
it.
wrist shot videos. Yeah, they were really cool
Thank you, Abdul.
to see everybody's shots and then comments from everybody and the interaction.
Yeah.
And they went for
that's-
hours, and I never had like any problem with going longer. To be honest.
Yeah. So that's going to be the plan. I'm hoping to get that back again and to start ground roots basic from the very beginning again. Now that I'm on camera and everything again. Yeah, it should be cool. I just look forward to that community engagement and start that from scratch.
Wonderful.
You should get Fisherman's Friends and boat again as your
Fisherman's
sponsor.
Friends. I'll have a little box in the background somewhere for sure, and a whiskey bottle or something. I don't know.
I have
don't
one
know.
here.
It'll be good fun. It'll be good fun. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sweet.
Hey JJ.
Hey Junior.
Hey JJ.
Yeah, they were the days, those restock shows. And,
It was good, man. During the 2020s when the world was in
COVID,
an interesting way. Yeah, it was great. Just every other, I don't know how often we did it, but it used to grind me down. I mean, it was 3-4 hours, and the as Thomas will attest, the work getting to that point of preparing for the show, and for me it was well over 100 emails of submissions every week that I'd have to save photographs and name and list every watch, and it took time, but I mean, it was good fun. So going to happen again, starting slow, maybe once every 2 weeks, once a month. I don't know. We'll see how it goes from there. That's
So
the plan.
now that we've ripped a few Kickstarter watches apart, I just wanted to give a shout out to a friend of mine who had a watch on Kickstarter, which I really liked. Rob from Montmartre Watchworks. You can visit his website, www.montmartrewatchworks.com, and that's where he's selling them now. But he had a successful campaign with the MW3 and the MW5. The MW3 time-only watch. Just get down to a picture of them both. The MW3 time-only watch, which is a Seiko NH35 automatic movement, is available with a lander on 24, so it's automatic movement as well. It's 35mm wide and 11.4 thick. 50 meters water resistant, has a 316L steel case and fits beautifully. I know several people who've bought them and are very happy with them. I've tried them on. They're really nice watches. That's the time-only one on the right there. The MW5 chronograph uses the same case on the left, as you see there, but has a VK61 mecha quartz movement. And there's several dial options available, including sage, teal, cognac, gunmetal, and blue. They're available on Kickstarter. Early bird offer for 329 euros on the chronograph, which is now 440 on the online shop, or 345 for the time only watch, which was the early bird offer, but is now available for 460 on the website, and these are really nice quality watches. And as I say, well worth checking out on the website www.montmartre-watchworks.com. And yeah, Rob did a really good job on these, and he's had some good reviews on YouTube. And yeah, wish you all the best with these, Rob. And
it's always difficult getting a ball rolling and getting started, getting somewhere. So yeah, I can agree, especially when it's like a one-man show too. I mean, even worse. Exactly. It's even harder.
He's coming out of Paris, and he's got some more watches that he's developing, and he's done some great stuff. So I just thought we'd finish off with looking at a couple of watches, future campaigns going to be coming up. I
don't know if you discussed this, guys, or not, but what I noticed now is before Kickstarter was like, okay, I'm doing my first watch and I need some money, I need people to support me. But I see a lot of watch brands that produce 1, 2, 3, 4th release, 5th release of new watches, and they always do it by Kickstarter.
Yammer. You were talking about Yammer one stage, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, right?
Yeah, we went over that about how established micro brands are still using Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's almost like you've got a platform that works and you've got an audience that wants what you produce, and I think it's a way of keeping connected with that base audience and being able to get the product through quicker. I don't know. It's interesting though. It's very interesting. You would think they would move to established websites, but no, apparently Kickstarter is cool. Nixie watches.
That's nice.
Yeah, so this one that's coming up on Kickstarter, coming out of Berlin, Germany, the Groom Nixie watch, limited to 55 models. That's one that's going to be coming up.
That's very cool.
Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? It's like the clock that Tim Mosser has behind him on his Monday night watch show. So that was one that's going to be coming up. Another one, I know JCB's a fan of jump hour watches, and this one was a interesting jump hour one that's going to be coming up, the Chronozy jump hour watch.
Oh man, we should have started with these. These are cool. Could have gone into them.
Clean dive, I like it.
They're yet to start these campaigns. I don't know how much they're going to be for, or how much they're going to be charging, or so keep your eye out for these, guys, if you're interested in the look of these. And there's one more, which was a very Urwerk-esque looking one. We've looked at a few Urwerk type watches. Well, Wandering Hours watches, but this one looks like a really interesting one.
Ooh.
like
rotating discs in this. Looks like the
what is that based on?
Cascade.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the Lamborghini Miura.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's cool.
It looks so familiar. Yeah.
Action Type 0 automatic by On Glass watches again. So, it looks awesome, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Does look very good. Yeah. I mean, it's a really cool design. I loved that Gerard Perigo when it came out. It was so slick.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like there's an interesting niche where these brands are offering a similar design of a much more expensive brand for affordable prices. I think that's like one area that they seem very driven towards. Maybe that's where the sales are. I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, I've been noticing this as well. I noticed, like, okay, you have this niche of the ultra high-end weird watches, let's say, like NBNF, Uhrwerk, and then you have this exotic and a couple of brands
what?
that they make. I think it's called Exeric or something like that. So like
Zeric,
XER.
Zeric.
Yeah,
Zeric.
yeah. They make a lot of like one-to-one watches from Uavec, and I feel like they sell in around the 300, 400, 500 euro range. So even if you have an eccentric taste, you can get something in this price range, which I think is a really nice, a nice, let's say, cover-up of this niche.
Yeah, it is interesting.
With respect to like even Thomas's friend who was featured in the one who was doing the toenail case watch, Thomas, which you showed us earlier. I mean, the Kickstarter, if they are genuinely creative, it's fine. But there is a fine line of a margin where they can stretch, where for example, the pricing, then the design, and if they want to help watch collectors and enthusiasts get out of that very pricey watch, the very big names, and get into these Kickstarter brands, they have to think about trying to be creative, but being economically smart. I know they need to cover the materials, they need to cover the overheads, but if they want to start off, they have to be very smart about it. Yeah.
Pricing is very important.
Yeah. Pricing is so important. Like I found out this when we were doing the Lyrique first one, and basically Swiss companies like to multiply by 6 their costs, and then they have the price. That's what we found out.
Wow.
So yeah. So
that Lyrique was such a cool project that you guys did together. It was so cool. Such a clever idea. And it worked out so well too. The piece is just beautiful.
Yeah. I'm really happy to be one of the members to have my Lyrique one, and already in progress for the number 3. But
wow, you're kidding. That's one of those, that's a really cool story, don't you think, where it's like it's designed by committee, and in a way it does feel like a Kickstarter project, but you're also in the process getting the best quality for every single component that's going into it. So it's not just it's very clever. It's very interesting, so different to what we've seen today, for example.
Yeah, because we're trying only to cover the costs. We're 0 profit margin. Yeah. So basically, whatever the manufacturers ask, that will be divided on the people buying the watch, and that's it. And I think that's why we also these companies that we worked with were really excited about it, because they saw that we're really watch collectors. We're not making a watch just to sell it afterwards. We're just wanting a watch that otherwise we cannot afford, but if we do it ourselves, let's say, and get a good designer, have the connections like the Bill Sanders has to all the companies, then we were able to do this. Otherwise, they would be like, no, it's you want to create like a Kickstarter and to sell the watch for 6 times the cost.
It's brilliant, eh? It's so brilliant when you think about it that way. No, with no profit margin in the way, pure enthusiasm. You pull together a couple grand together for every single person involved, and you all get a watch out. It's flipping great, man. Such a clever idea, honestly.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, to crowdfund in a group rather than crowdfund on a platform like Kickstarter.
Isn't it funny how we've just poked a hole in this entire discussion by bringing this up as an example? I mean, it's just no comparison between
it takes a lot of time. I mean, Bill Sanders must have had to have someone to manage the money, a treasurer, and
no, Bill did it everything by himself for the first one. We supported him. Sometimes we had meeting with the designers, with Agenor, with Vutilanen and Caitlin, and so. But Bill did most of the stuff on himself. That's why for the next ones we want to have more formal entity. Still same idea, 0 profit or maybe plus cost. So cost plus a small amount, which help us then apply the watch for GPHG, send the watch for the New York horology, and so on. So just costs to cover even not the marketing, but because we don't do any marketing, but because we want our watch to be with the people that like watches and appreciate them. So we'd like to create maybe one watch that goes around and people tested by themselves, because I think all the other reviews was either supplied by one of the owners from Lyric One or from the Lyric One owners themselves. We didn't send out Lyric One pieces because we made only 70 pieces. So there was each one had one piece.
This is brilliant. And the design by the committee aspect is also just as cool. You know, you're all happy with it as a part of the process, and you're all coming together with that. It's just so great. Imagine if all watch scenarios were like that, where you didn't have to worry about all the profit that goes into XYZ and marketing and advertising. And
Bill did an amazing job. I mean, he did so much work. It was his passion. It was his little baby, that project, wasn't it? And
definitely.
He just worked so hard on it.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, the whole idea about this consensus system, right? Yeah, we all have different tastes. We all have different, let's say, preferences. But at the end of the day, we want the best for all of us. So it was not like, I need to have this option on the watch or this design cue. No, it was like, hey, we have a designer who's an excellent designer, Mathieu Allegret, and he made like mood boards. We had discussions every week, once a week, like an hour over the design and over what kind of design. And then we had a couple of feedback rounds. Hey, Bobby. And then they just made the design, and then everybody was happy.
Bobby. Oh, I'm just looking. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm just looking it up now. And oh, wow.
Happy
Bobby Legs.
Happy Thanksgiving weekend, Bobby.
God,
Thanksgiving weekends to all our viewers and supporters and panelists. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a great
Thanksgiving weekend in US.
So are they on the Lyric 2 now? And
the 2 is being done now, almost finished, I think. I think it's the same, almost everything the same as Lyric 1, but the dial are hands and different. So they opted out for a guilloche dial and hands from Comblemine that complements it. And I think they made some changes on the caliber because it's our caliber. Agenauer designed it for us, and we are the only ones using it.
Oh, it's so good, man. It's beautiful. I can't get over it. It's just so pretty.
It's gorgeous.
Jeez, you guys did a good job. It's stunning.
And the Ring 3 designs are already in the pipeline.
Yeah, it's starting. We're getting the mood board in progress. That the designer Mathieu is getting everything ready, so we can give him our first feedback round. And the idea is to create a Zulu hour watch. So that's our
Zulu time. So 24 hours.
Yeah.
GMT.
Yeah. And I think it will have 2 retrograde systems on it.
Are you yourself going to be buying all of these watches, Abdul?
I'm getting into Lyric 3. In the number 2, I didn't have enough cash, but now I saved up the past year so I can get my number 3.
Man.
Congratulations, man. That's
Thank you.
what we need.
What a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But the best part of all is that you had a hand in the whole process, and the result is just stunning. Wow.
And what other watch buying experience are you get in touch with the CEO of Agenor, CEO of Voutilainen and Caitlin, with the guys from Metalem, with the guys from Fiedler? There is no any watch. You go buy the most expensive watch at Rolex boutique or Patek boutique, you won't get to talk to the CEO, get invited to the GPHG. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go the last time because I had some work. But actually, Bill told me, "Hey, you're the nearest one to Switzerland. Go represent us." And I was going, but had work, which was unfortunate. So I wasn't able to go. But next time I'll book the day off, so I'm able to go as well. It's just a couple of hours drive from my home, and go show them the watch there.
God, it's stunning. Stunning.
Wow.
It's one of the best stories in the watch space, tell you. It's just so killer. And we've really gone off track from the whole Kickstarter thing. That's been kicked aside for
It's
awesome.
Well, I think that's been a great show today, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to IDGuy.
Yeah, it's a pleasure being here, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Y2K, to Abdul, to JCB who joined us earlier on. And yeah, great show today. And I put the link for the Shot in the Dark's Punters Pub again. And let's just see what Bobby Legs is saying.
He's asking
Question
if
for
Abdul is
Abdul.
getting a bespoke piece. No, it's a long story, but it's a really good one, Bobby.
Check the Lyric video on my channel, Bobby. You'll get the idea about the bespoke watch that we created. It's not a bespoke like the one that I created with a designer here and in Iran, which made the dial, and they put all stuff together here in Germany at the end, so it's one of one. But Lyric is basically a committee of people, 55 people at start, that we wanted to have a watch that is the best of the best without paying all that money that people pay for it. And thank God we were able to achieve it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
thanks everyone for joining
Thank
us.
you, Chili Badger,
Thanks,
Thank you,
Badger.
gents. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
hopping on.
AJ, Bufaris, Bobby Legs, and
Bufaris.
everyone else in the chat.
Yeah, thanks to you all for joining us. We look forward to seeing you, IDGuy, with your wristwatch week.
Yeah, it'll be in the next few weeks. I'm gonna make an announcement and
Month, maybe. Wristwatch month.
month.
Take it
Yeah, have a
slow
full
pace. Yeah.
24-hour show. I don't know. Oh, yeah, okay.
You can get a portable toilet next to you, so you don't have to leave the room.
Just turn the camera off, mute myself, come back. What a joke.
It was a lot of hard work. It was a lot of hard work doing those long 4-hour marathon shows. And
But then if it's once a month, then I think it'll be cool. So it'll all work out eventually. That's the plan, at least.
So we just need people to send you some wrist shots now, and
No, everyone's so great. I mean, I send out I put a post out, and I'll have between 30 to 50 emails within 2-3 days. It's insane. You guys are just amazing. It's cool. It's like a coming back together after 2 years of nothing. So it should be nice. We're all older and wiser too, which is even cooler. So we all have new shared experiences. Abdul, I want that Lyric to be in. I have to see that
send you. So I'll send you pictures, videos,
movement,
everything.
Everything. That's
yeah, we'll do that.
Exceptional, man. It's 48-hour show. That's
Our
it, Bobby. That'll be it. That'll be it. Yeah. only I could get that one right. Huh?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
IDGuy, you need it's a marathon for you.
I'll have the ambulance on standby.
Yeah.
Need a 5-hour energy thing to keep drinking after every 5 hours.
Fisherman's Friends, coffee, and whiskey. That's the secret.
That's the secret.
New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Before I do forget, for JCB, since he left, actually, I did wanted to tell him that back in, I think about 5-6 years ago, I think, Panzera from his neck of the woods, which is an Australian brand, was starting off, and they weren't really getting a lot of attention. But today, Panzera for themselves have actually worked it really well. This is for JCB. It's not the original strap, but I've actually found a yellow and black strap for this Panzera Aqua Diver 45. Yeah.
Producer Michael kicked that brand big time.
Oh yeah. And what's his the camera guy's name? Forgot already.
John or Mark or James.
Yeah.
Or Stephen or I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy here. How just a bit of promotion can get the ball rolling even faster.
Yeah.
Exponential.
They had even this watch with a Venti or something like this that has the sapphire crystal case. Before their video, I think it wasn't sell so much. Now it's selling above retail, which is crazy for a micro brand.
Just as how it goes.
Abdul, there's this. They had one called the Zabomba or something.
Yeah.
It's Zabomba.
Yeah.
No, I always found that name very hilarious. in a really hilarious way, because it's just like Zabomba. It's like really like wow.
It's the biggest nuke in history, the biggest hydrogen bomb in history.
The bomba.
I think it was 1956 they did it, and it was ridiculous. It was like 100 megatons or something, even more. The Tsar bomber. It's the biggest, the most ridiculous I think you will ever see, in hopefully in history.
Hope so.
Took out a whole island. It was a big thing. I think it was like mid to late 50s when they decided to let it off. So that's the background of it. I don't know why they call a watch that, but
yeah, exactly, right.
When inspiration strikes, I guess.
Yeah.
Bufaris is telling you ID the whiskey's on him.
Thank you, Bufaris. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I look forward to getting back into the. This has been a good practice, a good warm up. Gonna get myself better lighting and try and make it a really good interactive show. So yeah, give me a few weeks, and I'll be back in action. Hopefully, we'll see.
I think IDGuy, to last the 24 hours, you need to have guest stars from global, like different.
That would be good too.
Pop in, and then the next segment is another guest star to come in.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to last. I mean, I can barely last 3. So how I would last 24, 48 hours? How is it humanly possible? People do it.
How is it possible? People do it. Yeah,
people do it.
People do Uber Eats and Deliveroo coming with pizzas. And
I tell you what, they do it. I mean, they literally spend their lives doing streams, and I don't know how they manage. My brain can't take it. But
no. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and hope you enjoyed the show. And if you did, give the thumbs up, please. That'd be great. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, you gotta be subscribed to IDGuy.
Please stop it. Please. I hate being put on the spot. Thank you, but thank you.
Catch upcoming videos, which are always spot on, and
please, Thomas. I'm gonna go red now if you keep going.
Catch his upcoming wristwatch week. Return of the week.
The return of wristwatch week. Wrist shot week. I've got to get the name right. Wrist shot week. It's be that long.
You got to catch that because it's a great live stream. Yeah, we all know it. So take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
And,
thank you.
And everyone who's been in the chat. Abdul, don't be late next time. Yeah, we're going to hold you to it.
I'm so sorry. I had the last class I'm teaching, and the students wanted to ask more questions about the exam next week. And I'm like, guys, I need to go. I need to go.
Okay. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks,
Thomas,
Cheers, everyone.
IDGuy, Abdul, JCB.
See you later. Take care.